It was a bright summer morning in Dallas, Texas, when the rhythm of life inside the Parker family's suburban home followed its usual quiet pattern. The birds sang beyond the wide porch, sunlight filtered through the tall windows, and the sound of dishes clinking in the kitchen reminded me of how normal the day should have been. I'm Ethan Parker, a 32-year-old architect who spends most of his days between design boards and construction sites. Life had been stable, though quiet, until the moment our house helper, Mariah, surprised me with an unexpected request that changed everything. Mariah had been with us for nearly 3 years. She wasn't just a helper anymore, she had become part of the rhythm of the household. She was 26, thoughtful, hardworking, and always carried a sense of kindness that filled any room she entered. Yet, that morning, as I watched her stand by the kitchen table, I noticed something different in her eyes, something fragile, something deeply human. "Ethan," she said softly, her voice trembling a little. "Can I ask you something unusual today?" I put down the mug of coffee I had been holding and nodded. "Of course, Mariah. What's on your mind?" She hesitated, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face. I've been saving up for years. My dream was always to study nursing, but I never had the right guidance or support. I was wondering, could you help me? Not with money. I don't want charity, but with advice, encouragement, just help me figure out how to take the first step. Her words hit me differently. I had expected something simple, maybe a request for a day off or help fixing her car. But this was deeper. It was about her future, her hope, her dignity. I smiled warmly. "Mariah, you don't even have to ask twice. If this is your dream, I'll do whatever I can to guide you." That moment felt like a spark of something greater than just an employer-employee relationship. It was a moment of two human beings connecting through trust, respect, and something far gentler, something that felt like the beginning of a story neither of us expected. The days that followed. In the weeks that followed, our conversations changed. Instead of small talk about groceries or chores, we spoke about universities, scholarship opportunities, and nursing programs in Dallas. I began to see sides of Mariah I had never noticed before, her determination, her resilience, and her quiet yet powerful optimism. One evening, while reviewing applications together at the dining table, I looked at her closely. The way her eyes lit up when she spoke of caring for others, the way her smile grew wider when she imagined herself in a hospital helping patients, it all stirred something in me. It wasn't just admiration anymore, it was affection, subtle but undeniable. "Mariah," I said gently, "you're one of the bravest people I know." She paused, her cheeks blushing faintly. "Brave? I don't think so. I'm just trying not to give up." But to me, bravery looked exactly like that. An unexpected rain. One afternoon, the Texas skies opened up and poured heavy rain. I returned home drenched after a long day at work, only to find Mariah standing at the porch, waiting with a towel in hand. "You'll catch a cold," she said with a laugh, handing me the towel. Her gesture was simple, yet the warmth behind it melted away the exhaustion of my day. When our eyes met, time seemed to pause. Something unspoken lingered between us, an understanding, a connection that neither of us had planned but both silently acknowledged. That night, as the rain tapped softly against the windows, we sat in the living room sipping hot cocoa. The world outside felt distant, and inside, it was just the two of us, two souls who had unexpectedly found comfort in one another's presence. The request that changed everything. Weeks later, when Mariah received her acceptance letter into a local nursing program, she ran into the living room with tears of joy in her eyes. "I got in," she exclaimed, holding the letter tightly against her chest. I stood up, smiling so wide my face hurt, and hugged her without thinking. It was a natural embrace, full of pride and relief. But as I pulled back, she looked at me differently, her eyes searching mine, her lips trembling as if words struggled to form. "Ethan," she whispered, "there's one more request I have." My heart skipped. "What is it?" Her voice was almost inaudible. "I don't want to go through this journey alone. You've been more than just a guide, you've been my strength. Would you stay by my side, not just as a mentor, but as someone who cares?" The room fell silent. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding. It wasn't a confession in the dramatic sense, it was something purer, something deeply human. She wasn't asking for love in the conventional sense, she was asking for partnership, for shared hope. And I knew, in that moment, that I cared for her in ways I had never allowed myself to admit. Yes, Mariah, I said finally, my voice steady. I'll stay by your side. Always. A new chapter. From that day forward, everything changed, not with grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but with small, meaningful moments. We cooked together, shared morning walks, and laughed over silly things. I helped her with her classes, and she reminded me of the importance of kindness and humility. Our bond grew into something beautiful, something safe, genuine, and romantic in its purest form. It wasn't about appearances or expectations, it was about two people, from different walks of life, choosing to walk forward together. Years later, Mariah graduated with honors, her dream finally realized. At her graduation ceremony, as she stood in her white nursing uniform, the applause thundered around the hall. She turned to look at me in the audience, her smile brighter than ever. That evening, as we walked through the park under the starlit sky, she held my hand softly. "Do you remember," she said, "the day I asked you for advice in the kitchen?" I laughed. How could I forget? That day changed everything. She leaned her head against my shoulder. "It wasn't just advice I found. It was you." And in that quiet moment, with the stars above us and the future ahead, I realized that sometimes the most unexpected requests lead us to the most meaningful love stories.